Okay, so now let's talk about the subtotal 2 in Excel. Okay, we have this data. We have session ID, student level, discipline, session date, all this data. Okay, suppose I want the subtotals for each of the student level, like okay, undergraduate, uh how much or what's the total say the total minutes for session length or total prompts or AI assistance level or satisfaction rating. Okay, what's the total for that? And the same for high school graduate. Okay, so there are several ways of doing that. You can do sum with, you can do pivot tables. But now let's talk about um the subtotal tool, right? So using the subtotal tool, what I'll do is I'll go to data and then under data, let me just okay, let me just drag it down. Under data, we have the subtotal, right? Let me start again. I'll go to data. Under data, I'll go to what? Subtotal. Let me just click there, right? So having make sure that your cursor is anywhere in this data range. Or let me start again. This is the home. So you can just put your cursor anywhere here. Okay, I'll just put my cursor here, and then you go to data, then you go to what? Subtotal. You find that it has automatically uh, it has automatically selected all the what all this range, right? All this range, but it's advisable that you should use the data tables. But this one, we have not used the data table, but it has automatically selected all the what um, all the data in the range, right? So um, here here is the guide at each change in. Okay, where do you want to have your subtotals? Okay, we want in column B under what? Student level. So let me go to the drop down and select what? Student level. Then what do I want to do? Okay, for um each of the levels we are selecting, what do you want to do? Do you want to do the average? Or do you want to do the average rating? Or do you want to do the total prompts? Or do you want to do the total number of minutes? So for now, let's select the default, which we had there. We had the default, which is the sum, right? So which ones do you want to, under which columns do you want to have the subtotals? Okay, I want to have the subtotals under session length. So here, the session length is selected. I want to have my totals under total prompts. So here also, total prompts is selected. And then under AI assistance level, I have that one as well. I have selected. And then under satisfaction rating, I've removed that, but you can also tick if you want to have subtotals under that, right? So here it says replace current subtotals. If there are already subtotals here, you can replace them. Okay. So page breakdown between groups, that's not important, but here I say summary below data. So this one, this summary below data will give you what? Yeah, it will give you the grand total, right? So having done that, you can just say okay. You see, it is working. Since this is a larger data set, I think it's about 3,000 plus rows. So it is working. It is working. So you wait for it to process. You wait, but I don't know, maybe it's the problem with my laptop. I don't know. but it's working. Just wait. We'll get the subtotals, okay, under each of these columns in form of a sum, and then the categorization, the data will be sorted in the order of what? The student level. All right. So let's wait. Let's wait. Uh-huh. Right. So here's our data. If I can, let's say, let me just put the board, that line, put it in board. You find that all undergraduate, there is a subtotal of what? Let's say for session length, that's the total, right? So if you add these, find that it's 95.33, 95.33. So this is how you can quickly add up your what? Um, add up your data, right? Okay, this is how you can quickly add up your data. So you can see we have how many rows? No, we had, I think that's why it was taking long to process. It's because um we have uh we have 15,603 rows of data, right? And this is our grand total, right? So what is the drawback? If we use, let's say I want to have a sum function, okay, I want to add column E. So what I'll do is equals sum tab reference one. So let me start from here to the top. So I'll just press Control up arrow and then page up. Okay, and then still pressing Shift. I'll um, go one step down using the page down arrow, right? And then press Enter. Okay, you see what is happening now. If you say sum is picking what? Is picking all the data in the what? In this column. Okay. But now the total for this column is what? Is 108. So how can you avoid that? So in order to avoid that, we can um, we can use the subtotal function. Let's try to do that. Subtotal. Let me try to select 9, comma, and then let me also select again, Control Shift, page up, down. Okay, yes. So the subtotal function has detected that in some rows they're already what? They're already subtotals, right? So it has not double counted. So the drawback with the sum function is that it what? It double counts. That's why here we're having 595,000. It means it has double counted together with what? The subtotals and the grand total, right? So the subtotal function has recognized that they are what? They are subtotals here. So that's what it has only picked the what? It has picked only those lines which are not what? Which are not subtotals, right? So this is one of the ways you can navigate around the limitation of the sum function, right? So you can use the subtotal function. Another function will be the aggregate function. And another way will also be to use the table. Okay, so for now, let me stop here and later I'll talk about the aggregate function. Thank you.